Hi, welcome to Seasoning with Sasha. I'm Sasha, your host. My show is all about low-budget cooking to help people Quincy, Dorchester, Boston, wherever you may be, get good food for low prices, and everything will be delicious. So today we're going to cook Sasha's second date fajitas, guaranteed to get you that second date. So I have everything here all ready to go. You'll need a pound of chicken, a red bell pepper, green bell pepper, and a yellow onion because they cook the best. You're going to go into your baking aisle or seasoning, wherever it is, get your pack of zesty herb. As long as it has onion and some herbs and spices, you'll be just fine. Now on the back of it, it calls for water, vegetable oil, white vinegar, and 2 pounds of chicken. So we're going to do 1 pound of chicken because this combined, when we chop it up, will equal another pound. And I don't put the oil in when I mix the mixture together because I use the oil to cook in the pan on the stove. That way it's not too oily. So white vinegar is the best, distilled, and then I have my water. So the first thing we're going to do is cut up our vegetables and hopefully not lose any fingers, and then we'll move on to the chicken. Okay. To cut your pepper, the way that I've been doing it wrong all these years, but my mom was kind enough to point that out to me. You're going to cut your sides of the pepper off like this. You're going to go around, that way you don't have to deal with any of the seeds. See, look at that. Well, a couple seeds there, but that's okay. So, it's a nice pepper. Getting seeds all over the kitchen. So here you go, look at that. So there we have our pepper. It's cored like an apple, and we can put that aside. And now you're going to take and you're just going to make nice strips like this. You know what, you don't want to sit here and watch me cut all day, so we're going to do something with the magic of editing. And there we go. Perfectly cut up peppers. I'm not good at cutting onions, so feel free to send me an email about how much you hate the way I cut up onions. I'd like to give a shout out to Grace and Glenn for letting me, utilize their kitchen. So what we're going to do is we want nice strips, kind of like the pepper. So we're not going to dice it. I'm going to
take the skin off.
So onions are also good for your second date fajitas, just in case you're looking fabulous and your date doesn't cry when he sees how good you look. Make him do this part, or she, and then you'll feel a lot better because you got tears out of them somehow. And the next thing we're going to do, we're going to attempt to cut up the chicken. There's your onion. Alright, so here we have chicken tenders, about a pound, give or take. And what we have is, I think it's cartilage, the little white thing in here. I'm going to teach you guys how to get that out, because it's not fun to chew, and we'll see if I can do it without losing any fingers. So what you're going to want to do is take a little tab. And I'm a lefty, so this is kind of tough for me, but you're going to get under it like so and just loosen it up, pull it up so it's kind of like a zipper now. It's hard to do, like I said, with my left hand. So what I'm going to attempt to do now is work my way under it and pull it back. But it's really tough to do without, I don't want to lose any of the meat, so that's hard. I really hope that this chicken's ghost doesn't come back as a poultrygeist and haunt me. So I've kind of come up with my own method now, as you can see, of doing this. I'm just going along either side of the tendon, cartilage, whatever you want to call it, and just kind of peeling it away. And you're going to be chopping up the chicken into cubes, chunks, so it doesn't really matter if it looks a little mutilated. You're going to eat it anyway. So there we go. I got one. All right. So then you just take it and chop it up. We're going to set it aside. have a plate here. Now when we go to put them in the pan, we're going to be doing the chicken first because it takes the longest. Sometimes, but it's also just that way we can make sure it's fully cooked. If you don't want any foul play on your second date. They make this look so easy on TV. But now you can know that it's not as easy as it looks. So my favorite thing to do is bake, but I realized I can't live off of a diet of just cake. So you have to have, apparently you're supposed to have vegetables and, you know, fruits and stuff. And jam in a cake doesn't count, so. Somewhere Gordon Ramsay is having a heart attack. One day I'll get it. But it will cook faster, this small. Last one. All right. Okay, so at this point, you've successfully mutilated your chicken, just like me. You have a nice pile, there you go, of scraps. And we're going to mix up the mixture per the instructions on the back, except for the oil. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse off, and then we'll mix up everything. Oh, there we go. Okay, so at this point, we've taken our seasoning, and like I said, we've mixed based on the instructions, except for the oil, because I've put the oil in the pan. So now we're gonna add our chicken. I like to do it in a clockwise positioning. That way you know which pieces you've already started. So this is my favorite saute pan. It's deep dish, you know, it's a few inches. It was $19 at your local grocery store. I cook everything with it because you can get all your ingredients in there and they can all get to know each other. So just gonna drop them in. Oh boy, gotta move faster. Now in my apartment, my stove has two settings, salmonella and crispy. Luckily here, it's better. Okay, so see how the chicken's getting white on the bottom? That's good. We'll add our veggies in once they're white on both sides. And I have a top too that we're going to throw on to keep all the moisture in. I'm not used to cooking with an audience, so I'm sure you all can offer me your polite critiques. I'm going to show you, there's my website right there, so feel free to send me an email. I would love to see you guys trying one of my recipes, any of yours, and I'll make sure to feature it in one of my next episodes. So now, you want to make sure that you have some tortillas, or if you're doing carb-free, you don't need them. but I always pick the regular. I'm not a fan of corn tortillas. What you can do is you can either throw them over another burner, or what I do is just put them on a plate with a napkin on top in the microwave for just about 10 seconds. They'll be nice and warm. And I know it's summer, so a lot of people don't want hot food, but this is very easy. It's the prep that takes the longest. So maybe while you and your date are eating your fajitas, you could watch a chick flick. Or if you're feeling super romantic, you could dance chick to chick. I hope you're appreciating these jokes as much as I am appreciating myself telling them. Okay, we're getting closer. Just want to get rid as much of the pink as possible before we add the other ingredients in. So you see the little bit of oil went a long way. So they won't be greasy, oily, and almost ready to add the other stuff. And then once your onions start to soften is when you'll add in the spice mix. But it's, as you do it, you'll kind of get a feel for when it should be the right time to put it in. So once again, there's my website. Please feel free to, start communicating with me, open up a dialogue. You can tell me I'm chopping my chicken the wrong way. I'd love to see you guys trying some recipes, or maybe there's a family recipe you want to share with me, and we'll try it out. All right, so we're almost ready. Because we're still going to cook the peppers and onions for a while, so. Okay, just put them in. You can cut them in half too if you want, but I didn't feel like doing that today, so I didn't. They're all gonna get to know each other in this pan. I know it's intimidating, you have a lot going on, but everyone can get along. The onion. All right, look at that. So now Grace's kitchen smells really good. So I'm gonna keep an eye on the onion once they're not as, you want them to be a little more clear and softer. And then we'll go ahead and, I've always been a fan of using my fingers to cook. They're clean. Just keep them simmering here nicely. I don't like to put the top on just yet because I have to stir it so frequently to keep the chicken from burning. Just let it sit for a minute and then you stir it. So like Grace reminded me, you don't want to use a metal utensil on this pan because you will scratch. I'm looking at you, one of my past roommates, if you watch this, scratching up my pans. Okay, so here we go, stirring again without throwing onions on the floor. If you have dogs, remember, dogs cannot eat onion. So don't feed your dog onion.
Because it thins their blood.
It thins their blood. Thank you, Grace. So, see, now you can see some of the onions on the bottom are becoming more transparent, which is good. I probably should have chopped up the peppers a little more, but it's okay. So in a couple minutes, I'm going to pour in my seasoning, and that will really push things along. See, the peppers are still tough, so stir it every couple minutes. So when you open your lid, make sure you open it away from you. See all that steam? You don't want that to hit in your face. It's not going to feel good. All right, so we're sizzling now. Look at that. I'm going to add the seasoning in. Peppers are still pretty tough. It's kind of hard to get everything timed just right, but give it a few more minutes and then we'll put the seasoning in. All right, see, you can see some of the peppers over here looking a little softer. So now we're going to do my favorite part, the seasoning. So it's kind of thick because we didn't put the oil in, but that's okay because there's oil in the pan. Make sure you get it all in. Now I have a very low spice tolerance and I can handle these, so if you're not a fan of spice, then these are the right fajitas for you. You can always add in your own version of spice, more cracked pepper, anything you want, but try it without.
Pepper in that cabinet up there, next to the microwave.
Perfect, I think we're good. So now you're just going to stir it in, and you'll notice your sizzling has slowed down. That's okay, but it's starting to smell really good in here. I'm excited. I'm also cooking these so Grace and Glenn, I'll win them over with my good cooking and they'll let me use their kitchen for another episode. So if you can't find the same seasoning packet that I use, that's okay. There's other fajita seasoning packets out there. It's all pretty much the same thing, but this one is just happens to be my favorite. It's my childhood favorite. My mom likes to chop up tomatoes and put them in here, but I'm not a fan of mushy tomatoes in my food. Okay, so now the seasoning has sat there for a minute or two. Just gonna go ahead and stir it a little bit. I'm the kind of person who can never leave well enough alone, so I'm constantly stirring everything, but I'm also terrified of burning down Grace's house. But it's looking pretty good. The peppers, I want them to be a little more tender, so I'm going to go ahead and do my best to put the lid back on and not touch it for about 5 minutes. So as long as your chicken is fully cooked, you cut into it, and the juices are clear, you're good to go. Alright, I'm going to check on our fajitas for the last time. We have sour cream and cheese over here to eat with them. And like I said, maybe you want to add some hot sauce. Oh, I wish you guys had smell-o-vision. You'll just have to try the recipe for yourself. Look at that. I think just about there. I'm going to cut into one of the pieces of chicken to double check. But I'm pretty happy with how these came out. I'll just use one of the knives that I already washed. So, as you can see, I cut into this one. No pink, and the juices were clear. It was hard to see, but we're good. So I'm going to let this sit. Then I'm going to turn the stove off in about a minute and just let it sit there until ready to dish it out.
Put the chicken back in.
And put the chicken back in. Woo! See, I didn't listen to myself there and opened it right into my face. Now my contacts are fogged. So, they're all good. They're nice and tender. We're going to switch off. And I'm going to show you what the finished fajitas should look like. And there we go. See how soft the peppers are? And your onions are very close to being totally transparent. That means they're good to go. So now I'm going to plate them for you and show you what a finished fajita looks like. So here we go. That is Sasha's second date fajitas, guaranteed to get you that second date. If you don't get it, just try it without the onions. Maybe that's your problem. All right, so your date enjoyed your second date fajitas, guaranteed to get you that second date, and now you have a hankering for something sweet. And since I can't be there to join you, we're gonna make do with some cheesecake stuffed strawberries. Super easy, simple, delicious, just my favorite thing. So all you're gonna need for this is some cream cheese. You can mix it in with a little bit of vanilla if you want, some powdered sugar, which I left in the other room, and we're gonna mash up some graham crackers. The best part about this is maybe you're really angry about something, you got a parking ticket today when you were at work, and you just, you wanna smash something. So what I like to do is use an ice cream scoop, put them in a bowl and just work it in there real well. If you have a mortar and pestle, is that what it's called? If you have one of those, good for you, but I do not. So we're gonna do that. So the first thing we're gonna do with our strawberries is we're gonna cut off the tops because you need to be able to get in to stuff your strawberries full, and also this is dessert. You don't want any green in your dessert. This isn't kale. This is strawberry. So just go ahead, slice off your strawberry tops. And some people, what they like to do is they like to cut off the bottom so you can make them stand, but I'm not that fancy, so I'm not going to do that. So some people have strawberry cores or anything. Just go ahead, get in here nice and easy like this. You can make a nice little hole there, as much as you want, and go ahead and eat the rest. Very good. Now usually I can't make a whole plate of these because I eat them as I go, so I'm going to do my best for you guys. So, easy. So see, just go ahead and take out the white on the inside. Make sure to not poke all the way through. If you do, it's okay. They're still going to be delicious. So, yep, see that one I didn't get all the way in, but nice and easy. There you go. So, go ahead. Scrape out the sides. So we're going to be able to pipe it in. And I don't have any piping bags, so what we're going to do is use a Ziploc bag with our filling and just put it in, cut the tip off and fill it in. So once again, just get all the white out. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead, and there's some bruises, but that's okay. Everybody has some bruises in life, right? But we're still all good people. Yep, just keep coring your strawberries. In Girl Scouts we learned that you never cut towards you, but I'm an adult. I can do what I want. You can hear how ripe these strawberries are. I'm excited for this. Just keep going. Now it's good to have your cream cheese sit out at room temperature for a few minutes or half hour, whatever you feel like. That's going to be a good one because it makes it soft and easier to mix. I have a mixer at home, but it's too big and bulky, so I don't use it that often. Besides, I don't like going to the gym, so I can just hand mix everything and my arms will be jacked. So, get rid of all this green. We don't want that. Keep coring. Careful to not go all the way through. So you're going to end up with a plate full of strawberry centers, but that's okay. So also, sometimes if you like a more tart cheesecake filling, you can do a little bit of lemon in with the cream cheese. I use confectioner's sugar. You can use granulated. It'll just be a little more gritty. But, you know, you can do it to taste. Usually you do a block of cream cheese, but I forgot to get a block. So we're just gonna do a couple scoops of this and season it to taste or however you want. My Girl Scout leader is gonna be really mad at me for cutting strawberries like this. But you really, it's almost like they were made to be cored. They're just so easy to do. And then once again, it's another cheap dessert. Another thing, it's the same filling you can do. You can go to the grocery store and go to the baking section and get a pre-made graham cracker crust. Go ahead, take a block or two of cream cheese, some granulated sugar, a little bit of lemon or vanilla, fill it in, and chop up some strawberries. You can do kiwi if you want. I'm allergic to kiwi, so that wouldn't be good. And then just sprinkle your strawberries on top, let it chill in the fridge for a little bit, and you have yourself a nice summer tart. And one of my favorite desserts to make, which I'm thinking about doing next time, is an icebox cake. My mom taught me to make them. They're wicked easy, and they're just a good old classic. So I think that's what we'll do for dessert next time with our kale, whatever I decide to do. So we're almost done. Coring the strawberries. It's really this simple. I'm not very good with a lot of cooking things, but just like that. Go. Oops. Now be careful not to throw your strawberry in the sink and keep the tops on, because I've done that too. Last one, little guy. Oops, see, I accidentally went inside that one, but that's okay. It'll still work. So there we go. Now I'm gonna go get my powdered sugar that I left in the other room, and we'll mix it together. We have whipped cream cheese, so it'll be easier to mix. All right. That's what aprons are for, right? So you're supposed to use like half a cup, but I'm not the one to use, just a little bit of powdered sugar and we'll mix it up. You can always add more. It's easier to add more than to take it out. So Grace is teaching me this trick. Put it in, and then I know this part. Back to this. Go ahead and just cut a little bit off. Make sure you don't get that in the food. Take your strawberry and just fill it in like that. See? There you go. And then, whoops. We don't want any green on our strawberries. It's dessert time. Nice and simple. This is why it's handy to have the top's off, but, excuse me, the bottom's cut. So now just take your graham cracker crumbs. Strawberry cheesecake strawberries. Woohoo! So that's it. Simple. I probably just made it more difficult because I was stubborn and didn't want to use a rolling pin, but smush them in. If you don't like graham cracker crumbs, you don't have to put them on. Also, what you can do is take some chocolate chips and go ahead and melt them, and then you can drizzle if you're feeling fancy. I'm not, so I'm not going to do that, but go for it. So I want to thank QATV for helping me out, for Glenn and Grace for letting me use their kitchen and cook for them, for my friends for laughing at me just the right amount to support me, and to you, the viewer, for being a part of this, giving me a shot. Thank you. I'll make sure to, there's my website again. Feel free to go on, check it out, leave comments, talk to me. Give me ideas for what you want to see me cook, or show me pictures of what you did, and we'll make sure to show it in the next episode. So there we go. There are your cheesecake stuffed strawberries with your rose garnish in the middle. Oops. And until next time, eat well, and you don't need a reason to season with Sasha.